All right, Harry. Tonight we're in John chapter 11, starting in verse 45. It says, "Therefore, many of the Jews who had come to visit Mary and had seen what Jesus did believed in him. But some of them went to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done." Can you give us a little background on this?
Yeah, so that was the time that Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead. So it's quite an interesting story. This happened about 2 months before Jesus himself went to the cross, because prior to this, Jesus, it was Hanukkah was prior to this, which was Christmas time, and then and then Passover is at Easter. So between this is somewhere in the middle between Christmas and Easter on our schedule. Um, so could Jesus have prevented Lazarus from getting sick and dying?
I believe so. Like he's God. He could have
Yeah.
done whatever he wanted. He could have
Yeah.
showed up ahead of time and healed him, knowing that he was sick and about to die. There's many possibilities or outcomes with this.
Yeah, but there was a plan here, I believe. So there's two parts to this. One was the frustration of the Pharisees, and the other I find is really interesting because here Jesus did this great miracle, and when Jesus was going to ask for the stone to be rolled back to so that he could raise Lazarus, Martha says, "Oh," she says, "that won't smell well. He's been dead for 4 days." And so that is really an interesting thing. Think of what kind of shape that body would have been in, like all the decay, the lungs, the blood vessels, everything
Hmm.
just totally slumped, as you might say. And in one moment, this man, his brain,
His life
everything
came
was
back to him.
came back in every which form. And that is so, so special. And he had been in the tomb for 4 days. And so then we go 2 months later, Jesus goes to the tomb for 3 days. And I believe there's a connection here because I believe that if Jesus had been raised from the dead without this story, people would have said, that
Three
can't be.
days, it's impossible.
Yeah,
Exactly. And they one upped it, right? With Lazarus being 4 days in the aspect of
right.
they saw and witnessed Lazarus walking around. And it says here, many of the Jews who had seen came in to see Mary. That's it adds a lot more credibility to the story of Jesus being risen again.
Right, because they didn't have see all these people saw Lazarus resurrection, but they did not see Jesus resurrection. So, well, the naysayers, there's only 2 months earlier that this happened, so so it was current on their mind and so on. So I believe that that's one part of the story that is really, really important to understand why this happened and so on. The other part was that going back to 45 and 46 is that there was two kinds of people. The first 45 is those that had come to visit Mary. They saw what Jesus had done and they rejoiced and they came to Christ and they
Believed in
accepted
him.
that,
Yeah, right. It
believed
literally
in him.
says right here, they believed in him from this miracle.
Yes, but then it says, but some of them, these are the normal people, the neighbors and so on, went to the Pharisees and complained about what Jesus had done.
How could somebody, Harry, complain after seeing something like that? What are your thoughts? Like, how does that even go through somebody's thought process?
Yeah, but it happens all the time. When people come to Christ, what happens?
You get a lot of people who rejoice, like we see here, and others who are they mock you or they, there's a you're believing in that fairy tale or whatever type of insults. Even could be a lot worse. But what are your
Yeah,
thoughts? Yeah.
see, there's the same thing, like people when Jesus, the miracles that he does in people's lives, some people think that's wonderful. Other people say, "Well, can't you just tone that down a bit and this and that?" But they don't rejoice in that. And they went to the Pharisees, and the Pharisees actually made plans to kill Lazarus. What had Lazarus done wrong?
No, nothing. He was sick. He died and was risen back to life.
Yeah, yeah. So I find it interesting. The same. So that's to me is really the strong point of this. 2 points in the story. One is how important it was for Lazarus to be raised right before Jesus was raised, so we know it's real and it's possible, and all the people at that time would realize that. And the other part is the two responses that we always get when God does wonderful things in our lives. Some people rejoice, other people's complaint, and they joined hands with the Pharisees, and they hated on Jesus, and eventually they were the ones that put Jesus to death. And yeah, that's those are the two choices, and we have to. And but that's the reality we live with.
Amen. And thanks a lot for this, Harry.
Thank you.